And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. As always, I'm your host Joel, and joining me, you know him, you love him. He's been doing a lot of streaming lately. It's Matt.
Hello, everybody. How you going, Joel?
Can't complain. We were both talking before we start. It's like, is it really Sunday already? Is it already almost, the end of March? Are we gonna have to come up with something new soon?
I know, right?
Hard to believe, but as always, thank you everyone for coming and joining us and hanging out on Sunday night. As you can see, Matt, in an attempt to make this digital house a home, has once again upgraded our layout there. So now you get more of us than ever before.
More of us and less of everything else.
There you go. It's postmodern, I think, maybe. I don't know. That sounds like something someone would say.
I'm sure someone over on Twitter would say that, but they're too busy arguing that No Way Home is the worst thing ever to happen to cinema at the moment.
Oh, is that? I've missed that. I know it came out digitally.
Yeah, or in the special features, they revealed like some of the scenes where the character were filmed against a CGI back, like a green screen, because of COVID and everything.
Right, of course.
And because of that means cinema is dead, and you know what I mean. Yeah.
Sounds like they're having a real normal one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have been lucky. I've been able to ignore all Twitter discourses this week.
Lucky you.
Lucky me, I know, right? Gotta thank God for small miracles on that one. I said before we started, my mission tonight, after being incredibly lazy, was I set up a printer for my mom. And it's the funniest thing because it's like, printers are such this weird piece of technology because it felt like we all had one like 10 years ago, then no one had them at a point.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
What is up with that? Like, it's like everyone was printing off everything. I guess it's because cell phone technology got to the point where if you really needed an important piece of paper, you could just put it on here as a PDF.
Yep.
And QR codes and everything else. I guess having physical paper makes no sense anymore. I know the only time I ever wanted it was like when I had to travel and if I could like print off a boarding pass.
Yeah, like an extra copy just in case.
Yeah. That's the only reason I ever needed it. This one has a scanner too, and I can't even think when was the last time I had to scan and or fax anyone anything.
I know, right?
Crazy.
And the thing is, now phones, you can actually like hover them over documents, and they'll put a border around the document and like take a perfect photo of it and everything.
I see. I didn't even know that, but that's amazing, actually.
You can do that with at least my phone can with like your credit card. You like take a photo of it and it'll like put like a border around it and like recognize the numbers and like save the numbers into your phone.
Oh, holy shit. I know they could do that with checks. Like you could actually use your phone to do checks, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wish I knew that a while ago. I had to take a picture of a bunch of different important documents because PayPal, I'm assuming because of what's happening in Russia and everything, they're like, hey, so we just want to make sure everyone is who they say they are and they're not sending money anywhere they shouldn't.
You're not some Russian oligarch, are you?
Basically, yeah. No, I'm not a Russian oligarch, damn it. Man, speaking of that, did you hear, what is it, as part of the sanctions there, YouTube completely shut down the ability for, like, any Russian YouTubers to make any money?
I did, because I actually follow a Russian YouTuber who's been doing stuff about, like what's it like living in Russia, and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, he hasn't been able to do anything, and I think he just recently left Russia, so he can actually continue doing his work.
That sucks. Like, I get it, but that's just the worst, because I could imagine being a workaday YouTuber in Russia. It's like, God damn it, everything sucks here enough. Really, YouTube?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's bad enough here as it is? I swear I am not funding the war machine over here. And then Vladimir Putin himself stepped on in there, and it's like, hey, we are seizing the means of your YouTube channel. Hey, bros, we're here on the stream. Be sure to donate. Just Putin himself in the background of every big streamer.
He becomes Riddler. He does the Riddler YouTube voice.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Really psyched all 500 of my closest comrades right here, right now, helping with the war effort. Now, I know you may have heard some things out there on social media that I have been canceled for being a warmonger, but let me promise you, These are unfounded rumors, and I have receipts. Now be sure to join us on stream because we're going to be TikToking later on. We're going to be doing the biggest dances. It's funny because it's horrible.
It is, and true.
And true, and happening. Again, I can only assume we have fans in Russia out there, so hey, if you're out there, we're thinking about you. Sorry about everything that's going on right now. Hope it works out. Likewise, I'm sure we have fans in the Ukraine and across Eastern Europe. I know it's a fucked up time right now. If we can offer you just a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of respite, I guess we're doing our jobs.
Yeah.
So in lighter news, you been up to anything interesting, Matt? Watch anything? Stream anything?
Well, I've been playing a bit of Elden Ring.
A lot of Elden Ring.
I've been trying to. I've been in a weird week where I haven't actually gotten anything to watch. Like I'm watching my usual. I'm watching Our Flag Means Death.
Yes, and likewise.
But like I'm trying to figure out like what do I watch next?
Yeah. How good was frickin' Will Arnett as Calico Jack in that last episode?
That was great.
Just like a goddamn 80s territory wrestler. I love this show's take on pirates, where it's like it's not even kind of historically accurate.
No, not at all.
It's very funny. I think next week's going to be the finale, right? Because they had 3 episodes a week, then they only had 2 episodes this week, so I'm guessing next week's the finale.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that's just in time because I think Moon Knight starts next week.
That's
and
right.
And I think this week on the 25th or 24th is that Halo show starts this week.
Oh yeah, that Halo show that's been in development forever. I have not played a minute of Halo. I am totally out of the loop on that. It is very much a missing piece of my nerdy puzzle. I swear if I ever get Xbox Game Pass, I should make a deal about playing them all.
Well, it's good that you haven't played them because they made a point to say that in the show they didn't play any of the games, read any of the novels or anything when they were doing the show. They wanted to do like sort of their own thing and not be, I guess, withholden to that sort of stuff.
Good, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, did someone tell them who Master Chief was at least?
I think so.
So there's this guy, Master Chief. He's pretty cool. Opera music follows him wherever he goes.
Yep, it's just built into his suit.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Why am I hearing Greco-Roman chanting everywhere? Oh. And hey, speaking of streaming, Matt, that actually dovetails quite perfectly with our first news story here. You mentioned Moon Knight happens at the end of the month. Well, we already know what the next big Marvel show is going to be, and that's Ms.Marvel that had its Disney Plus trailer drop.
Yeah, kind of surprising. It had the trailer drop, and the trailer also announced the release date.
Yes, which is sooner than we thought.
Yeah, it's happening in June, which is really quite crazy because it's going to be overlapping with Kenobi, which is like Disney Plus okay? Are they allowed to do that?
It's the first time they've done that because, you're right. Usually the Disney Plus model is we get you a Star Wars and a Marvel at alternating times so you never feel like you have to, cancel your subscription.
And so they don't have to advertise both at the same time because they're very funny about that, where especially when it comes to Star Wars, where you can never advertise one project more than the other. Like, you can't have some overlap.
Yeah, it's very weird how they choose to do that. Oh, yeah, and we'll throw an Encanto or a Turning Red in there at some point, too.
Mm-hmm.
But by and large, they know it's the Star Wars and the Marvel that they got to dole out to you one little hit at a time to keep you coming back. Maybe this is them experimenting where they're like, okay, so, let's try Ms.Marvel and Obi-Wan at the same time.
Yeah.
And the trailer we got actually ended up, kind of blowing people into a big old tizzy, myself included, because they do something I was really not expecting.
They do, yeah.
They seemingly have changed Ms.Marvel's powers, and in fact, there seems to be, in the trailer at least, no reference to Terrigen Mist or inhumanity at all.
Well, there is... Like, I don't know what it could be, but there is some type of mist in the trailer. It could be, but they make it a point by saying that her powers are coming from the bracelets she wears. I have to think maybe there's a bit more to it that we're not seeing. Like maybe the bracelets activate latent powers she has
or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to judge it solely by the trailer, but yeah, as a purist, it definitely threw me for a loop. Kali Frederick, longtime fan, frequent donator, also agrees with us, saying, I understand the power change, I just don't like it though. The thing too is like, oh, you know, her powers and the stretchy thing, you know, that was a big part of Kamala's character. It really spoke to the sort of person that she was, you know, because she's being pulled in so many different directions, you know, between her faith, between her family, between life as a superhero, but because she's strong and resolute, she always snaps back. It's like powers as a metaphor and everything. Likewise, being an Inhuman, oh, I'm like an outsider, you know, minority race in my superhero gig and in my day-to-day life gig as a Pakistani living in Jersey City.
Yeah. Well, they definitely hint at some stuff like that in this trailer, because we do see her life in Jersey with her Pakistani family.
Which is great, by the way. The actress is great. The people playing her family is great. I don't want people to think that, you know, I'm getting my balls in a knot over it. It's very good. Like, that stuff they nail.
Yeah. I had another theory as well, because the trailer makes it clear that very much like in the comics, she writes fan fiction, or like is like kind of living in her own head a little bit in like imagination and stuff. So I had the theory of like, what if this whole first season is like an embellished like story of like
she's
what actually
telling her own story.
Whereas these aren't actually, she had to like change things in the story to make it appear that it's not actually her, hence why the powers are different.
Interesting. That's an interesting theory. I've heard some other things, and I had some own theories myself I wanted to run past you. Some people floated around the idea that maybe that bracelet isn't just any old bracelet. Maybe it's the Nega Band, or maybe it's the Quantum Band, because the Nega Bands actually have a long storied history with Captain Marvel, who, of course, predates even Carol as Captain Marvel, and it'd be like, oh, that'd be an interesting way to actually work in the connection. The bands are also connected to the Kree, and they're also connected to the Eternals, because they were originally forged to be wedding rings.
Yes, they were.
So wouldn't that be interesting that they tie all that back together and make it so, you know, Kamala has powers that are similar to Carol, but ever so slightly different. Similarly with the Quantum Bands, I think Marvel had the chance to wear them, but he didn't for whatever reason.
Yep.
They're also, of course, connected to Quasar. Maybe she just has those in the first season, and maybe she gets her powers later on. I know some people had, like, gone through the trailer with a fine-tooth comb and found at least one frame where she looks to be stretching, doing that thing where she, like, elongates her body to, like, go through the city at a faster speed than just normally walking.
Yep.
Two other theories I had, and tell me what you think of this. This first one is far out. So you know how the Tesseract in that first Avengers movie, we thought it was just the Tesseract, then they open it up and it's like, oh shit, look, it actually had an Infinity Stone in it?
Yeah.
Imagine if they did something like that with the bracelet. Oh, it's just a bracelet. Oh no, my bracelet broke. Oh, it had Terrigen Mist inside it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like what I said, where like the band like activates her latent Inhuman abilities, and then when she gets like the Terrigen Mist, she gets like the stretchier, which is why she can kind of stretch as like these constructs and everything.
And this final theory here, this is some real tinfoil hat shit, so please join me as I show you my string theory board. So the bracelet is an interesting decision. And it's one that also very much reminded me of what they did with Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi in the comics is just really good at Kung Fu. The movies make a solid point of giving him the 10 rings, which are an alien artifact that they still don't even understand at the end of that movie, and figuring it out what they are seems to be the thrust of like whatever sequel they're going to do.
Yeah, they had that signal that went off to probably Fing Fang Foom or whoever.
Or wherever, yeah. What if this new thing, what if Scott Buck fucked up so bad with the Inhumans, the new idea is like, all right, genetic, you know, manipulation of humans is out in this universe, but we want to keep the spirit of it. What if the idea is that the Kree, instead of, you know, messing with human genetics, seeded a bunch of alien artifacts on Earth that would turn people into super soldiers, like the 10 rings and like whatever this bracelet is?
So kind of like a sort of similar to like the Infinity Stones. Instead of the Infinity Stones in the first couple of phases, you have like these different weapons.
Yes, these different artifacts that they can all tie together. Similarly, someone on Twitter pointed this out on me. I wish I could remember their name. Sorry. Feel free to correct me in the comments. There's a woman in the trailer who, if you turn subtitles on, her name is Najma. And Najma seems to know what Ms. Marvel's deal is and what Kamala's deal is. Najma also just so happens to be the Arabic word for star, and star is also the name of a major Kree geneticist in newer Captain Marvel stories.
Okay.
And as we have seen before in the Captain Marvel movies, Kree are totally fine coming to Earth and making it look like they're humans.
Yep.
So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be cool. Again, going back to that whole idea you had about like the weapons and everything.
Yeah.
Again, it could also lead to something where like, oh, one of the weapons gets destroyed, fucking Terrigen gets unreleased, and that's how we bring back the Inhumans.
That's their way into it now a bit. Yeah, because like completely exiling the Inhuman part really struck me as weird, because it's like, well, we're not saying you got to do the Scott Buck version. I thought that was the whole point of inventing variant universes and variant timelines so you could pick and choose the things you like.
Yeah, especially now, like, you just say, oh, that was like some timeline that has since been, destroyed in some cataclysm or something. These are the new Inhumans, and maybe like bring back some of like the people who played them, like Anson Mount who played Black Bolt, maybe bring him back, or the guy who played his brother, Maximus. He was great.
Yeah, he was the only thing I really liked about that show, and also because he was basically playing the same character he played in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was basically playing Ramsay Bolton.
Which, that's fine too, because Black Knight is also a goddamn Game of Thrones actor, so let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
Let's have them all share screen time together. Beyond that, it's a pretty standard Marvel trailer, and that is they don't really tell you a lot about what's going on. It's a coming-of-age story. It's an origin story. There'll probably be villains, but I don't actually know what villains they're going to pull from, because Captain Marvel, or Ms. Marvel, is one of those rare instances where she does not have an arch-nemesis. She does not have a revolving door of villains. Her stories were all about just dealing with regular life.
Yeah, in the trailer, there is, like, what looks to be like some type of villain like group or something that she'll be fighting, but I'd actually like it if there isn't really a villain and it's just her sort of figuring out who she is as a hero.
It's what most of her stories ultimately break down, and I think
G. Willow Wilson.
G. Willow Wilson coined it like near the end of her series when Ms. Marvel was fighting Shocker, and Shocker's like, oh, come on, I could be your arch nemesis. Come on, we could do this forever. I did great things for Spider-Man. And Kamala says, look, dude, I don't need an arch nemesis. I have regular people problems.
Yes, I don't have time for it.
And I'm like, fucking fair enough. And I'm like, wow, way to sum up this entire series in just a couple words. I don't need villains. I have regular problems. Now, we also see her bully there, Zoe, who ultimately ends up becoming her friend at some point, too. I wonder, too, if we're going to see her boyfriend, because her boyfriend, when she breaks up with him because she was, secretly dealing with the fact that she was gay, he ends up joining Hydra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he literally becomes an incel. It's like, I hate all women now, and I hate the gays, and these guys on the Hydra message board forum said that I'm smart and good.
Oh, no.
Basically. And he becomes a villain called Discord, and this was, like, right before Discord, the app, took off. So that's an option. There was also another villain, Becky something, and her deal is that she was part of, like, Carol's Captain Marvel Corps, basically. Like, she was like a junior member, but she got kicked out because she was like a little junior fascist, and like when Civil War II broke out, Becky's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to abuse my power.
Okay.
And Captain Marvel's like, you gotta get the fuck out. And she's like, fine, I'm joining Hydra too. So that's an option. There was also like the cockatiel scientist, who wasn't really a cockatiel. He was like a human, but he like wore this. It's fucking weird, the first villain they fought. I don't doubt it'll be that guy, baby.
Yeah, I don't know whether they'll go the Hydra route. I'd love to see Hydra come back, but they'll probably end up maybe changing it to whatever organization, what's her name? Fontaine is like setting up with US Agent and all those guys.
Right. I guess they can't be called the Flag Smashers, but they were called something else. What the fuck were they called? Yeah, she had an evil group.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking. I can't remember. Something World or something.
It was a very generic name.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you Google that and I'll read a super chat. Eric Santi helping us out again. DC and Marvel came for the gays this week, and I loved it, announcing Pride Specials, new Hellfire Gala, a.k.a. the baseball for X-Men looks and other series with LGBT characters, including trans. Yeah, they did. Don't worry, Eric. We're going to be talking about that later on there. But yeah, if you have not seen it, the Hellfire Gala, it's even bigger this year. The Avengers have come. And unlike last year when they just wore their regular costumes, now they've actually dressed up too.
Yeah, they've got some drip.
Oh yeah, the Steve Rogers one and the Sam Wilson one looked freaking amazing.
That Steve Rogers one is so good.
Oh man, red pinstripes on a black suit. Holy shit. I couldn't pull it off, but I'd want to. I like to imagine too that Janet the Wasp stayed up all night working on those.
It's why we haven't seen her in a while. She's been busy in the background, just like making all of it. Right, we're gonna serve this time.
Since the end of the last Hellfire Gala, Steve's like, we looked like a pack of hobos up in there. Janet, you gotta help us. You're a fashion designer. She did it just cursing Jumbo Carnation under her breath. Motherfucker, I'll show him. See, that's got to be the tie-in, Jumbo and Janet having a fashion off.
Yeah, that's like the next X-Men Avengers crossover.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if that's what kick off Judgment Day, the fact that the Avengers were too well dressed at this party? And the Eternals get involved. It's like, well, we think we're very well dressed. No, you're not. We got to fight about it now. Kali Frederick there. What do you guys think the top comic TV show will be? You mean this year or overall?
Ever. In the history of infinity.
In the history of infinity? I mean, Moon Knight looks to be doing something different. I'm super excited for Ms.Marvel to be a thing because, like, I was there when it started, which is something I cannot say about all of these other comic stuff we've been doing.
Yeah, that really is like the... Like outside, like, maybe Sam Wilson's Captain America. Yeah. Like, that's, like, the most like recent thing
in our lifetime.
Yeah. Wow.
We were reviewing comics when it happened. We were there, and it's especially crazy too because like as I sit there and I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, Ms.Marvel. You know, one of her big character things, Kamal, is that she loves superheroes. She grew up on superheroes. It's part of her personality. And then I'm like, wow, these Marvel movies have been going on for over a decade, meaning if you are the target age group for this show, you grew up on all the Marvel movies too.
Yeah.
Which is shocking to believe, but I'm like, oh my god, yeah, now they're getting nostalgic about themselves, and it actually works.
It does. It really does.
It actually works. Oh my god. Which is the point where it almost makes it a little hard to believe when, like, the bully girl is like, oh, you're wearing another Avengers shirt? I'd be like, yes, I am wearing the most popular, profitable brand in the world. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you hate things that are popular? Or are you one of those people?
She's one of those people on Twitter that, you know, just hates the thing that's popular that week.
Yeah, as some people pointed out too, it's like, well, actually, Zoe's dislike of Kamal in the comics early on before they became friends was a little racism coded, actually.
Yeah.
And you wonder if they'll keep that in the show, where it's like, well, no, but we know they become friends later on, so...
Yeah.
Tevu saying, would it be easier to make Kamal a mutant? I mean, I'm sure they probably batted that idea back and forth in the writer's room before they eventually decided to just sidestep the Inhuman thing. Until later, maybe.
Yeah, and I feel like making her a mutant doesn't make her... kind of gets rid of that kind of uniqueness, I think. Because, she's just another mutant. Whereas if she's an Inhuman, that's like... There's not very many Inhumans.
She's already a big fish in a small pond, where you're right, where I think if they did make her a mutant back in the day, she would have just been, another big new mutant we were supposed to care about but didn't.
Yeah, and one that could have easily just faded away.
Absolutely, yeah. Because, if Kamala became a mutant, then she was just one face amongst a sea of thousands in the Xavier School and Krakoa and everywhere else. As an Inhuman, she gets that rare distinction of being like, oh, she's an Inhuman who lived and stuck around because she was popular.
Yeah.
And, like, you need her there because she's a good, representative Inhuman on all these teams where it's like, oh, we've got a mutant, we've got a space person, we've got, super soldier all on one team. It works.
Yeah.
Also, too, you got to figure, so Ms. Marvel has got to be setting the groundwork for the eventual Young Avengers Champions show, because every one of these new Marvel Disney Plus shows we've seen have had some sort of young person in them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we know that this Ms. Marvel show feeds into the upcoming Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine we'll see. I imagine we'll probably get some post-credit scene of Kate or someone showing up.
Oh yeah. Kate's got to be the one who's putting it together. Look, I'm putting together a team of young people.
Yeah, Kate or Yelena.
Yelena, yeah, there's another one too. Yeah, get the whole, Marvel universe of the next generation.
Yeah.
Oh, as Cully points out too, I'd have loved to see her with a good live-action Lockjaw. Yeah, that's right. Lockjaw is a huge part of that series for like the first several arcs.
Hey, he could always appear.
Yeah, that's the connection. Lockjaw just shows up and like, look, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, it's fine because he's a big, cute teleporting dog.
Yeah, you'll love him.
You'll love him anyway. Yeah, because come on, I mean, when does the Disney Corporation ever leave plush money on the table?
That's the thing. Like, you would think they would want Lockjaw in there. That's like the Marvel Grogu, basically.
Basically, yeah. I mean, come on, even Shang-Chi had a cute plushable animal to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, when does this company ever not push felt? You screwed up, guys. Scott Buck, you ruined it again. Now, moving on from there to some comic book news here. Here's one that surprised the shit out of me, and I think surprised everyone. Paul Dano, yes, that Paul Dano, the actor, is going to be writing a Riddler origin story for the comics. Basically, the origin of the Riddler he played in the movie.
Yeah, it's an in-universe, the Batman universe origin of the Riddler.
Yeah. And while this is definitely cool and it's a special occasion because it doesn't happen all the time, goddamn comic industry, you really just fucking trip over yourself and fucking, drool all over the goddamn place and make a giant mess the second a major celebrity looks in your general direction. It's so unbecoming. It's so fucking up. Like, oh god, we got a big movie actor who's gonna be writing a comic now. Isn't it great? Paul Dano's coming. Paul Dano. To which Brian Hitch says, there's an artist involved in the book, right?
Yeah.
So you could have said his name, right?
Yeah, they were quick to leave the artist out of all of these announcements.
It's one of those moments of, the big companies showing their hands. Like, we don't really give a shit about any of you. If we could replace you all with celebrities, we would.
Yeah.
But we can't, so I guess we're stuck together in this loveless marriage, writers and artists.
It's funny as well because like as you said, like the comic industry would just bend over backwards for like a actor
every time.
or someone like who comes who wants to write stuff. But then again, the movies kind of do it as well with comic writers. We've seen that with like Tom King. They're
getting better about it, yeah.
They are getting better about it.
It's starting to be more of a two-way street where it's like, hey, look, here's Ostrander cameoing in Suicide Squad. Here's Ed Brubaker cameoing for a second in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're small cameos, but it is nice that they are paying that love forward, even though we know, too, that they don't actually get paid that much. And I'm sure Dano, as compared to his acting, writing this comic was a pittance. But, he cared, he had a lot to say, and he wanted to keep building this universe. So, hey, more power to him. And I'm sure it will sell big because people are hungry for more of this movie universe.
Yeah, and hey, if he can bring what he brought to the role in his acting into the writing, then yeah.
This to me seems like, I wrote a whole big character history because I really got in to, method acting the character, and it's like, oh, these notes are good, actually. We should turn this into something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he did. He came up with his own, backstory for this version of the Riddler.
It sounds like he'd be a hoot Paul Dano to play Dungeons and Dragons with, but he'd send you, a 20-page novel of his character backstory.
Yeah, this is my backstory. You need to read it all before and memorize it before we play.
Sure, I fucking skimmed it. I'm not saying I'll never read my character's backstory. I will skim it. No, seriously, as a DM, and I do this for all my games, I sit down with the people, I'm like, okay, what kind of character do you want to play? What archetype are you in? I think having the conversation is more important. Let us collaborate on this backstory. It's your character, and you're telling it, but, give me some hooks to get in there.
Yeah.
That's how I do it, everyone, if you wanted to peek behind the curtain. But yeah, this looks like it should be fun. Should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be good.
I'd complain about it being more Batman, but it's actually Riddler, who rarely gets any loves. So there you go.
Yeah, this will be his first solo series.
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, more power to him for that.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from there, we got some more interesting comic news here with some more multimedia connections. Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, will be returning very soon for a brand new miniseries from Torun Grønneberg. Clearly, he's, a foreign individual. He sounds like he is a real Viking.
He is from Asgard, yeah.
Yes, they got a real Asgardian to write this story, which is a big deal. the first Asgardian comic writer that we know of. But yeah, the timing on this one couldn't be more perfect because obviously Love and Thunder is coming. Obviously, a bunch of stuff happened in the Thor book recently with Mjolnir, so now is the time to get a fun little Jane Foster cameo in there to help promote the movie and promote the comic and vice versa.
Yeah, and it looks exactly like how Jane Foster does in the movie, even down to the hammer being all cracked and everything.
Yep. So she's going to be teaming up with Thor, and together they're going to be fighting like the Legion of Doom of friggin' Thor villains. So you got Ublek the Troll, the Enchantress, all of them.
Everyone, yeah.
Which again sounds about right. Is it shameless self-promotion for the movie? Yes. Am I probably going to love it anyway? Also, yes.
Hey, yeah, if it's building off what Donny Cates is writing.
Works for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad they finally caught the fever on this one now. Jane gets to be Thor again for a little bit, and Sam just gets to be Captain America again.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel are things that probably should have kept happening anyway.
Yeah, well, it feels like they realized that, like, hey, these things were actually good. We shouldn't have ended them when we did, but we were kind of like, it was like a knee-jerk reaction. Let's bring them back. People seem to really love them now.
As I have said 100 times, if we can have multiple Spider-Men, multiple Hawkeyes, multiple Wolverines, we can have multiple Thors and Captain America, who the hell cares?
Exactly. We can have multiple of every character, basically.
Pretty much, as it's shown. It's like, look, the one you like will always exist, and the one other people like will be there too. It only makes everyone richer for it.
And just in literally all of these cases, hey, you want to read a book about Clark Kent Superman? There's Action Comics. Here's the one about John. Here's, Ben Reilly's Spider-Man book. Here's Peter Parker's Spider-Man book,
Diversity is the spice of life.
Exactly.
Kali asking, where's the Enchantress been recently? Haven't seen her. I do believe she was relegated just to tie-ins for those big Thor stories for like War of Realms and everything.
She was in the most recent thing I saw of her. She was a tie-in in The Death of Doctor Strange, where she traveled to a weird world or something to like rescue her son who had been kidnapped by a evil wizard that had been freed thanks to Stephen's death.
So yeah, she's not been a main Thor antagonist for a very long time.
No.
She has been relegated to being a big name for tie-ins.
Yeah, even in that book, she didn't really feel like a villain either.
No, yeah, they kind of don't quite know what to do with. Again, I think they know they'll eventually put her in a movie, and then they'll do something with her.
Yeah, she'll be in that goddamn Loki series or something.
Oh, well, I mean, she kind of was and kind of wasn't, wasn't she? Because it wasn't the Enchantress we know, it was the second Enchantress.
Yeah.
It was the second Enchantress who thought she was the original Enchantress, but Loki was just fucking with her.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from there to some animation news, which I'm always a fan of talking about. Harley Quinn Season 3, we got some big casting news this week, actually. 2 big casting newses, actually.
Yeah.
James Gunn is going to be in Season 3 as himself.
Yes, and he's directing a biopic on Thomas Wayne.
Which is fucking hilarious and totally awesome and totally in the show's wheelhouse because they like made jokes about Tim Burton and everything in the past seasons.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed. I'm like, oh, they didn't voice themselves though.
No.
But James Gunn is actually going to be voicing himself in this, which is very funny.
It's very cool, yeah.
I love that he's a good sport and wants to be in here, especially because Harley Quinn, the animated show, is so fourth wall breaking and so self-referential.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so cool that he gets to be here, especially after where it's like, oh, you did probably the best version of Harley in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, there'll be some reference to that. She'll reference, hey, you're the only director who's gotten me or something,
Yeah, you're the one I like.
yeah.
Well, it's funny. I think in the first season of Harley, they had like Suicide Squad T-shirts from the first movie.
Oh, really?
Yes, I believe that was a joke. She's hanging out at Ivy's and she's just throwing out Suicide Squad branded merch to them. God damn, that's crazy. That's even funnier too, given what I know about the production of that show, because apparently Margot Robbie sits in like all their meetings.
Really?
Yes, even though she does not have to. When they were developing the show, she sat in on all the meetings and is given frequent updates on what they're doing, even though she's not in the show.
Yeah, but why?
I asked the same question to the showrunner. I'm like, isn't she like uber famous? Doesn't she have like stuff to do? And he said like, not only does she show up, but she showed up in like a ball gown from a premiere to come in and sit in on one of our silly meetings.
What?
Apparently she just loves and cares about the character that much and wants to see what's going on with Harley and other stuff.
Does that mean like the next time we see her, there's going to be like references to the show or something?
Maybe, quite possibly. I don't know. It's crazy to think that like an actor cares this much about it and is so married to the role and wants to keep playing the role seemingly into the future that they are willing to sit in and see what's happening with the character across everything.
Are they just gonna like, she's gonna show up in something and be like, yeah, everything in that show is like canon.
Is canon as far as I, because maybe, like, again, I am certain the reason they did Birds of Prey as like the Harley follow-up movie is because she read the Birds of Prey comic and liked it and said, can we do this?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
Now I just want to know, when is she going to be on the show?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if she is.
I mean, like, that joke writes itself. Margot Robbie, the actress, has to follow around Harley Quinn, the real person, to get her character right, because she's going to play her in a movie.
Yeah, that James Gunn is making or something.
Yes,
yeah.
And she gets involved in, like, a caper and fights villains and everything. Like, that writes itself. And that is, like, a joke the comics would do.
Yeah.
That's totally a thing. I would be all for that. And the other big piece of news there is they actually cast Nightwing as well in the show.
They did, and it's Harvey Guillerman, the guy who plays what's his name in
Guillermo
in
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, that's great casting.
It is. It's fucking amazing casting, and once again proving that this show is so funny in the people they cast. Like, you know, friggin' what is it? We keep we keep what's his name as our Batman from Brave and the Bold. Why am I spacing on his name?
Dietrich Bader.
Yeah, we keep Dietrich Bader as our friggin' Batman. We got Christopher Maloney showing his comedy chops as Gordon, and like every casting in that show is like really solid and really outside the box, but totally works.
Yeah, it totally fits.
Yeah, I love the idea that Guillermo is going to be Nightwing. I cannot wait to see what he brings to the role. Also, I think this is the first time a Hispanic man has ever been cast as Nightwing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all on board for that. I'm all about it.
It's pretty cool.
It really is. You know, Charlie Adler, the voice of Cow and Chicken from Cow and Chicken, runs like the voice cast recording sessions.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the voice director on that show.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's super funny and manic, and you can see why the show has great energy. He also voiced Harley's dad in that episode where we meet her parents.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just love the idea that Harley's dad is fucking Cow and Chicken. And like a billion other things, but that's the thing I'll always know him for.
Yeah.
He still does the voices, too. Like, he can just snap into it perfectly.
He should do that for the show.
Yeah, he really should. He's like a big built like biker muscle grandpa, Charlie Adler, but then he'll just start doing the cow voice. What a fucking talented guy. What a legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for Harley Quinn season 3. Feels like we waited a long time for it because they did 2 seasons back to back.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah, and then we didn't know if the show was coming back because HBO Max and friggin' DC Universe. We didn't know where it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, DC Universe. I remember that.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons were on that. They made jokes in the show about the DC Universe app.
Yeah, I remember that app.
Which, Christ, those jokes are going to age super weird. Callie Frederick helping us out again there. You guys see Netflix Tekken animated series trailer came out. Animation looks pretty decent. Batman the Knight and Nightwing were my top books. No, I haven't seen the Tekken trailer. I know it's out, though.
It looks alright.
I am as always very what's the word? Very resistant to any adaptations of video games. Though maybe I shouldn't be, because that Arcane show was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, this one's a bit more of a traditional anime look.
Yeah.
And it looks like I only caught like bits of the trailer, but it looks like it's like about Jin's training before going into the first Fist tournament.
Right. Are we gonna see his father throw him off a mountain?
Probably.
Because why would you make that if you wouldn't?
That'll be the cliffhanger ending of season 1.
There you go. You gotta love Tekken as this mixture of like super serious martial art drama and just fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn kangaroos with boxing gloves and wrestling bears.
Yeah, bizarro versions of the characters who are like devils.
Yeah, for some reason. Well, because they got the devil gene, and that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I stopped playing at that point. I have no idea. I'm sure there is a rich, interesting story in Tekken that has, that I'm sure would blow my mind if I heard it. Likewise, I only remember half of Mortal Kombat's story too.
Yeah. Yep.
Tournaments, ninjas, magical items,
Nether
gods.
realms.
Oh yeah, that's there too. Raiden. Time travel at a point.
Yes. Yeah, the new game had like multiverses or something in it.
By the end, it sure did. Which, man, you know that Mortal Kombat has really been sipping on that Warner Brothers, DC, Injustice Kool-Aid. When for the last game, they're like, "Fuck it, we're having a crisis."
Yes, multiverses, multiple Raidens coming in and fighting each other.
Yeah, we gotta wipe it all away. too much has happened. We gotta start over. Now moving on from there to some more good news there. We got some very interesting new title announcements coming from DC. One of these is for the Dark Crisis event, and one of these is for Pride. The first one is we're actually going to be getting a Young Justice special.
Yes, we're getting a couple of tie-ins to Dark Crisis. We're getting the Young Justice special, and then a separate one, which is I think it's an all-female future group of Justice Leaguers.
Is it that one, or are you thinking of Teen Justice, which is the other one I'm talking about?
Teen Justice, yeah.
Teen Justice, which features the multiversal Flash subsidiary character Kid Quick, who is the gender non-binary speedster, who we actually saw a lot of. They were on the Justice League in Williamson's Future State book, which makes me think, because that's basically happening anyway now, because that team is essentially getting assembled. That's why they're there. And also, too, in the last Pride Month book, Kid Quick actually had a really good little one-off story in that.
Yes.
So yeah, good on them for coming back, and also great time for it too, because we won't have a current Teen Titans book very soon. So fuck it, let's spread the love to the other young people team that aren't Titans.
Yeah, we won't have a Teen Titans book, and we won't have a Justice League book.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah, time to spread that love to other places, which I truly appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, these look like fun, interesting titles here. I'm very excited for them because they're doing something different and getting me excited to read about these characters, where the Titans book was making me unexcited to read about them.
It's kind of interesting that Williamson's kind of forced their hand in a way where it's like, right, I'm going to kill off all of these characters so you can't use them. So you have to use these younger characters or these multiversal characters or something interesting.
I like that a lot, actually. Yeah, he did force their hand. It's like, okay, now you gotta write about all these new characters we've been working on for this time.
Yeah, this is what happens when you put me in charge of 20 books. Yeah,
exactly. This is the revenge of Williamson. It's very smart, actually, and I dig it a lot.
Yeah.
And they're not staying dead, but it's like, look, this is great market research. People are gonna fall in love with these characters, and they're gonna want to read them and other stuff.
Yeah, well, they did. They tested really well in Future State. Everyone seems to really like them, so yeah, bring them back.
I really loved that Future State Justice League that Williamson was writing. I know you and I were both like, can this just be the book now? I'd happily keep reading these adventures.
And it seems to be like that, because we're getting covers and stuff of that team assembling or trying to assemble and become a Justice League in the wake of the real Justice League dying.
And, it's really easy to keep that team around, too, when the OG Justice League comes back, no doubt, at the end of the story. Just call that other team the Justice League of America.
Yeah, or like International or something.
Or something like that, yeah. Dust off one of the other Justice League books that you haven't been using in a while.
Exactly.
I like the idea of the super multi-ethnic Justice League being the Justice League of America, because they're like, nah, this is what America looks like.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
With all these different characters.
Yeah.
I know which one I would want to read. And I think they also had something, too. There was a cool image there. We got to see Darkseid and his Dark Army.
Yes. Yeah, all the characters teased at the end of Justice League Incarnate. Eclipso, yes. Doomsday, Necron.
Who's the other dude from the other Crisis? He's keeping Wally hostage right now in Multiverse 2. Yeah, Pryor or Crier. Pryor?
Yeah, Pryor. He's a Pryor.
Oh, he's gonna pry into all your business. Watch out. He's got priors, and if he goes away on this one, he'll be done doing a hard time. Yeah, he's obviously quite interesting, because it's like, wait, I didn't think you were a villain, but now you seemingly are.
Yeah, I guess he is, yeah.
Yeah, Doomsday, as you mentioned before. Anyone else we're missing on this one? There's like quite a lot of cases. Is that Ares? Is that supposed to be?
I'm pretty sure it's Ares, yeah.
Okay, because Empty Hand too.
Yes, yeah. Who actually has something in his hand now? So
yes, that's right.
So I'm guessing he's called something different. I don't know.
Yeah, we call him EP or EH for short. Hey, EH. Empty Hand. Yeah, because in that other multiversity story we were saying, which actually that hasn't ended yet, has it?
Which one?
The Joshua Williamson one with the House of Heroes and everything.
Yeah, that's ended. Yeah, Justice League Incarnate. Yeah, that ended with issue 5.
Did I fucking miss Justice League Incarnate 5?
Probably.
Okay, because when I last started, they were like stuck on the planet, and
yeah, no, that ended. They fixed all that. That
fucking ended, really?
Yeah, the darkness was unleashed.
Oh no, I'm getting exposed on stream. I totally missed the ending to that story. I
shouldn't have said anything and made you go into Dark Crisis without reading that final issue.
Not knowing that well, fuck me, I know what I'm doing tonight. I gotta finish that. Yeah, they were trapped on the planet, and they're like, oh no, all of our friends have been, corrupted by the darkness, and they're coming for us.
Yeah, they went and tried to free Flash. They found out that Flash is stuck on a weird Stepford Wives fucking Earth that's like his paradise, and yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, shit, I gotta go read that now. Thank you. Yeah, I would have been really fucking confused. I'm like, yeah, how come they never finished Justice League Incarnate? That was really good.
Yeah, no, it ends with them going to go and get the Justice League that leads into Justice League issue 75.
How did no one tell me that I missed that one? Usually if I miss a big comic, fans will be like, hey, Julie, you missed one. The hell, guys. This isn't my fault. You all dropped the ball. Well, with that, everyone, that's actually all the news for this week, so we can move on to what we read. And admittedly, not a lot came out this week. It was a mellow week, and I'm happy about it.
It was a pretty mellow week.
Yeah, I read 5 new books, and yeah, I know 5 to us is mellow.
Yeah.
One for every day of the week. Yeah. Where would you like to begin, Matt?
We'll stick around with DC, because DC started New World's Finest book this week.
Yes, they certainly did.
Superman, Batman.
Yeah, Mark Waid and Dan Mora, who are kind of a world's finest in and of themselves, aren't they?
Oh, are they ever?
Coming together. Just what a pretty book this is.
It really was. It was great, and it was a really fun, unique story.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's it's interesting, but it's also like familiar in its own way, where it's like, a villain from Gotham has come to Metropolis and is making trouble, so Batman and Superman need to join forces.
It does really familiar stuff like that, unlike the obvious, Batman versus Superman fights and stuff, but it does it in really interesting and unique ways, like involving the Doom Patrol.
Yeah, that one I was really not expecting, that a World's Finest story would feature the Doom Patrol, but clearly Wade is a fan of the TV show and how their profile has been raised over the last few years.
Yes, they can now, they've been given access to the larger DC universe the Doom Patrol has.
Finally.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is that some mystery villain pushed Metallo and Poison Ivy to attack the city, and during the battle, poor Superman gets stabbed in the heart with red kryptonite.
Yes, a synthetic red kryptonite cocktail that, unlike red kryptonite in like Smallville, it doesn't turn him evil. It like fucks with his DNA and like turns him inside out and like makes him hallucinate and all sorts of weird shit.
It's a bad time for him.
Yeah.
Wade also does some fun stuff where it's like, okay, this is still very early on in Superman and Batman's career, so I can go back and write some stuff about their friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the stopping Penguin's arms deal with the weaponeers of Quad. That was really cool.
What a fucking pull. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, he was introduced to them by Lex Luthor. This is so fucking cool.
Also, a Penguin who still goes, wah, wah.
Yeah.
So we're definitely, this is a much simpler time in the DC universe when villains go, wah.
They do the old animated series thing where they had Superman dressed as Batman for a minute there, which is great.
Such a sucker for that one. Love it. I love it's an even older joke about how Batman and Superman were always written or drawn the same with the same chin line, so you could swap them out in the costumes and no one would know.
Yeah, couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. So much fun. Robin's great too, because he's just like totally ripping on every villain every step of the way.
Oh, he's great. Dick's great back as Robin.
Yes, sassy Robin at ultimate sass levels. But yeah, so Superman freaks out. Batman has to get involved to try and stop him, and he basically leverages his friendship, being like, no, I'll get between him and the innocent people of the city, because I know deep down Superman would never hurt me.
Yeah, we're friends. We're still very apprehensive friends, but we are friends. And
isn't that nice to just see a story where Superman and Batman are friends and like each other's company?
And it's even great because it's obviously like it could have easily just been like, oh, Batman's gonna go get the Hellbat armor and fucking fight Superman through Metropolis, but like he's doing stuff that obviously he's learnt from Superman, which is like talk to the person and try and talk them down, and it kind of works.
Yeah, de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, de-escalate enough until the Doom Patrol can arrive, because the Doom Patrol are familiar and experts at people with like strange weirdo afflictions. So it makes sense that they would be able to help.
Makes sense. I like it a lot. We even see, the chief? He's got frickin' kryptonite laced medical tools.
Yeah, to help Superman get all the kryptonite out of him.
They gotta do surgery, and I'm like, oh, fun.
Yeah, a great use of Negative Man's powers as well, where he's able to give off red sun radiation to negate Superman's powers and stop him going insane.
You forget how strong the Doom Patrol can be in certain scenarios. Because their greatest villains are themselves, you see. But yeah, this one was really fun. It felt like a great retro throwback in the best way possible.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We get a hint at like a larger villain that, again, might have ties to the Doom Patrol. Because Larry recognizes like their symbol.
Yeah, I scoured like all the wikis there for like Doom Patrol villains with horns. Who the fuck is it?
Yeah, well, again, like the little silhouette we get of the person, he looks like Magog.
Yeah, that was my thought instantly. I'm like, oh, they're fighting Magog. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I really did think they
makes sense Magog as well for Wade to be riding Magog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless Wade's like playing 3-dimensional chess and he wants you to think it's Magog.
It's probably like that. There's a red herring.
It's a twist. So it's like, whoa, what, you think I was Magog? Why, you think all guys with horns are the same?
Yeah, they'll be fighting some really weird, really obscure character who hasn't been seen since like the 80s.
Blue Devil did it. Blue Devil's sick of Superman's shit, so he's getting revenge. But yeah, this one's great. This is a very fun read.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next issue.
Yeah, but every image is a poster.
Yeah, oh yeah, Dan Mora's art's so great.
Killing it, and you can tell he's having a blast too, getting to draw just like the ultimate hero shots of Superman and Batman. Yeah,
it's great. And again, Superman and Batman in their like classic costumes.
Oh yeah, that Denny O'Neil blue suit with the yellow chest piece and everything. Gotta love it.
It's perfect.
So nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
Bring it back, please. They did for a second in Detective. They teased the idea. What if he just wore blue in this book?
And that was Dan Mora as well.
That was. So clearly he's been working on it. But yeah, that's solid stuff. What else did you have this week, Matt?
What did we have? Well, we had Nightwing issue 90.
We did, and the team-up train continues. This time we see Dick teaming up with Wally for a bit.
Yeah, they're bringing it back towards the Bloodhaven storyline, and the Blockbuster hires a group called the Funeral Agency, I believe is what they're called. He gives the Spanish name. I went and translated it just so I didn't have to say the name.
Likewise, I did the same. Well, again, they made it seem like, wait, is the Funeral Agent a person or a group?
Yeah, well, again, it seems like a group who have like their own agents, because they mentions that the agent they sent is someone who takes no prisoners and doesn't care about collateral damage. Which is evidence because they fucking drone strike Dick's apartment building.
Yeah, not fucking around.
Yeah, and he goes and saves Maurice, the deaf guy who lives in the building, who thinks that Nightwing's there to steal his hearing aids.
The thing that got me about Maurice is not only does he get it wrong that Nightwing isn't breaking in to steal his earpiece, but also the fact that he is old and kind of jacked.
Yeah.
Just an old jacked man who lives on the top floor. I feel like that has to be based on someone that Tom Taylor knew at some point.
Someone, yeah.
Because that's just an odd collection of character traits.
Maybe that's going to come back later on. He's going to, like, help Dick.
Maybe. Ooh, maybe Maurice is heartless.
Ooh.
Because we still don't know who that person is. That's a mystery that's still up in the air. We've only seen them in silhouette.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be something. Yeah, maybe there's a reason that character has such a specific design and collection of character traits. Shit, man, I think we might have cracked it wide open.
Hey, we're usually pretty right here.
Somewhere Tom Taylor just punched the wall. God damn it, how did they know? I thought I was being so smart. But yeah, so Wally hears that his best friend's place got destroyed, and he runs right there to help.
Yeah, and he gets there in time to see Dick survive the explosion, save Maurice and everything. And they decide that Dick should probably come and stay with him and not tell anyone that Dick Grayson survived that bombing, just to kind of throw everyone off the scent.
Yeah. It'd be nice if you could get some actual sleep, because ever since you became a public do-gooder, people have been trying to kill you nonstop, and you've been sleeping with one eye open, which is not healthy for you.
Yeah, and it's totally true. Ever since Taylor took over the book, he hasn't stopped.
No,
Dick hasn't had a minute to stop.
No, they're attacking him at home. They're trying to kill him in the streets.
Yeah,
it's just no good for Nightwing. But then again, trying to change the world for the better will naturally be hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like to, we don't see much of the sister Melinda, but, obviously she's in Blockbuster's camp, so she's able to tip Dick off. But, maybe she showed her hand a little too much now, because the corrupt police chief is looking into it, and he figures the only way Dick could have made it out of that bombing alive is if someone with information told him.
Someone from that meeting tipped him off, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's going to be a fun con game for her. I bet she's going to try and turn it around, be like, no, it wasn't me, it was him.
I'd love to see her turn it onto, have it turn on to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
She uses her place as mayor to try and get one over on Blockbuster and
to turn everyone against him.
Turn everyone against him, yeah.
From the inside, yeah, that would be an interesting way to fight crime. Very, what is it? A Green Hornet? No, I pretend to be a criminal to fight crime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that a lot. It's fun too, just to see Dick having some downtime with Wally and his family, who are just super excited to see him.
Yeah. It's the first time he's ever been able to decompress and kind of put his guard down a little bit.
I like Wally trying to help, so I put together this string theory board. I don't know how to solve mysteries. I'm not a detective like you, but I had fun putting the board together.
Yeah, I don't know how any of these are
connected,
but I connected them anyway.
Good job, Wally. It's fun too, because they don't even really have to solve the mystery, because the funeral agent strikes again, trying to kidnap Barbara Gordon, and they're like, yes, we're kidnapping you because you are his love interest, you're his girlfriend, right? And Barbara's like, well, I wouldn't really put a label on what we're doing, we're just adults having fun and everything.
Yeah.
which I guess is also Taylor's way to be like, hey, but isn't Dick having sex with Starfire over in the Titans book? Yes, but they have an open relationship, it's fine. Barbara is free to date other people too if she wants, it's all good.
Yeah.
The bad guys take her away in a fridge truck, which I thought was absolutely hilarious.
They fridge her.
She makes a solid point. Like, yeah, I'm in a fridge truck, but I'm not going to let them fridge me. I could escape anytime I wanted.
Yeah, but she can't because it can't be seen Barbara Gordon doing some, like, daring broad daylight escape.
Yes, because it would give up her identity and Dick's. I just love the idea that somewhere in space, Kyle Rayner hears about a woman getting fridged and just single tear falls.
He's currently racing back towards Earth at breakneck speed.
Not again. Not again.
Fucking Major Force, god damn it.
Yeah, and somewhere, Major Force in that Titans book just gets an erection and doesn't know why. A woman was fridged somewhere. Yes. This is also one of my powers you don't know about. When anytime that happens in the multiverse. And, hey, the funeral agent's ace in the hole turns out to be friggin' KGB's, the guy who shot Dick and made him think his name was Rick for a stupid amount of time.
Yeah, and Dick and Wally replace, thanks to Wally's speed, replace Barbara in the back of the truck and get a jump on the villains, and Wally sees that it's KG Beast and decides he's going to go kind of off book a little bit and kind of get revenge on KG Beast for what Tom King did to him.
Did they ever settle that in the Nightwing book? I want to say there was a cover. Did Dan Jurgens actually have Nightwing fight KG Beast again, or are they doing it here for the first time?
I believe people in my comments told me that it did happen, but again, it's not really Dick sorting them out. It's like I don't think any of his friends got a chance to get some revenge, and that's what this seems to be all about.
Right, this is all about Wally dealing with his problems by kicking this guy's ass.
Yeah.
Is he going to use his super speed to, like, brick a wall around him and just leave him there like Batman did?
Oh, that'd be great.
And KG Beast is like, this shit's got to stop happening. every fucking time with these heroes, they brick me up and leave me. Look, see, I'm not killing you because I know you've escaped from this like 2 times before. It's just going to be really uncomfortable for you.
Really uncomfortable, yeah.
So it's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Yeah, this was good. I liked it.
It was good. Yeah, it was a good issue. I'm guessing it's going to be a 2-parter, obviously.
I'm assuming so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think when this Nightwing book started that it would feature so many cameos.
It's great. It kind of makes sense as well. Dick is like a big brother and like a friend to like almost everyone in the superhero community.
Especially now, maybe as we head closer and closer to Dark Crisis, where it's like, with no Batman around, maybe Dick becomes the new head of the Bat family for a bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting? That's something we've never seen him before. We've seen him become Batman, but to have him like actually run the day-to-day operations of the Bat family.
Yeah.
And to be that emotional center and everything, wouldn't that be something?
Mm-hmm.
What if he does a better job than Bruce? Oh, geez, Bruce is just, well, you've been dead. I've proved to be a better father figure and mentor.
Wasn't Taylor's first story arc of this run called Better Than Batman?
Oh, I think that was Seeley's run, actually.
Seeley's, okay,
It's called Better Than Batman. But yes, that was his idea, too. I just want to write a book that proves Nightwing is better than Batman. Which apparently there's something in the water over there, because everyone wants to.
Yeah.
And I have to agree.
Yeah, I do as well.
To which I would like Batman, he hears that, but he's not even mad about it. He's like, yeah, that's what I trained you to do, to be better than me. I'm pretty fucking good, aren't I? You're the best of us, Nightwing. You're the best of us. But I actually mean that, and I'm not making a decades old at this point Walking Dead joke.
No.
You're the best of us, T-Dog. All these years later, that's still fucking funny to me. I don't even know if people get that joke anymore when I make it.
I think we're so far removed from that season.
Like, who? T-Dog, who?
Yeah, who is T-Dog? I don't remember that character.
He was the best of us. No, he wasn't. He didn't do anything. Yes, that's why we loved him. He didn't do anything. He was just agreeable. Now, I had the big finale this week of X Lives of Wolverine.
Oh, really? Tell me what's happening. I'm doing I'm going to catch up sometime this week on that. It was a real riveting storytelling.
It was rip roaring. It was riveting. It was. Are we done? Are we done yet? So yeah, Mikhail Rasputin launches his plan to be like, ha ha ha, this was always my plan, to make Jean Grey and Xavier tired so I could invade Krakoa with my reality warping powers.
Okay.
That's why I've done this incredibly complex time travel Terminator riff.
Yep.
And that doesn't work because Wolverine is able to regain control of his body from Omega Red thanks to that watch from issue 1. Do you remember the watch, Matt, and what a big deal they made about the fucking watch in the trailer?
Yep.
So, get this. The watch that we now know is a big deal was actually a gift to young 19-year-old Wolverine from whaling captain ancestor Xavier.
Okay, yeah, so after he saved his life.
Yes, and, like, apparently they spent many years together as buddies, and, like, Ancestor Xavier wanted to take Logan back to England and civilize him and, like, make him a British citizen.
God, I hate when fucking books do this, when they take, like, an established character and, like, shove him into the history of another character.
Yep, oh, tell me about it. And Wolverine's like, nah, bub, I'm gonna go out into the Canadian territories and drink and trap and rabble-rouse and everything. And he's like, oh, but take this watch that also has a compass attachment, so you'll always find your way home, which is exactly what Wolverine needed to find his way back to Krakoa and take control of his body. And it hurts my fucking brain because, like, okay, so he had the watch at the beginning, meaning before he even goes on the time travel journey, everything that was going to happen already happened.
Yeah, it's one of those time travel stories.
Which I fucking hate, that we're in a goddamn time loop. So Wolverine knew all this was going to happen before it even happened, which means he knew he would succeed, which means everything with Omega Red meant literally nothing.
Nothing. He was just repeating what happened before.
Which, goddamn, that drives me crazy. It drives me even more crazy because Omega Red's like, no, it's okay. Give me one more chance, Mikhail. I know I can go back and kill him. And I'm like, you literally have the power over time and you failed every single time. You're never going to get him. And Mikhail says that you're a loser. You suck. You're a loser.
And the whole thing with Omega Red doesn't make any sense because we know he can possess people, including Wolverine. So why didn't he just do that from the beginning?
Exactly. Why was that not his first port of call? Why did he not kill him when he was a child? Why did he not kill Dog Logan, his father? Why did he not do any number of things?
Yeah. You have access to time travel and you can possess literally anyone you want.
Yeah. Why don't you go back before it even started and do it again?
You know what it is? It's because it's Omega Red doing it. Omega Red's kind of a fucking stupid person. If it was any other mutant, they'd probably figure it out.
And I guess that's supposed to be the point, because Mikhail didn't care if he succeeded. He only cared that he would keep Xavier and Jean busy enough.
Yeah.
But then what he does next is extra stupid. He just drops Omega Red in the middle of nowhere because it's like, well, Wolverine's going to come and kill you now, and I have bigger, more important plans. Please continue to read X-Force in the Wolverine book. But he drops him off with the Cerebro sword, the thing that allowed him to, like, access, time travel, the thing that was so important to him in X-Force. He spent, like, years worth of stories trying to steal it.
Yep.
So he drops Omega Red off in the middle of the tundra, and him and Wolverine just cut the shit out of each other. Wolverine kills him and comes back with the sword.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, what a fucking lackluster ending. And Wolverine's like, okay, I'm going to go to bed now. And Sage is like, nah, you can't do that because there's a Phalanx version of you running around on the island with Moira. Go handle that in the last issue of X Deaths.
Oh, god damn it.
And I'm like, okay, the story's finally hooked up, but wow, what a... this is the perfect example of, like, telling a bad time travel story.
Yeah, lives didn't need to happen. They just needed to have that Deaths book.
Yeah, Deaths was the only important one. But Deaths is funny because Deaths isn't about Wolverine, it's about Moira.
Which is why it's good.
Yeah. Tell me about it. It's the worst too from even like a character standpoint. Like, divorce all the nerdy time travel shit. It's just not a good Wolverine story. He talks about how much he's changed and how much he's learned to, like, love Krakoa as a nation and everything. But we don't see that through any of his actions. He just tells us that in internal monologue.
Yeah. Do you think maybe that could be like the point? Like maybe Percy was trying to make, but it didn't come off right.
Maybe, I don't know. There's some weirdness with this book. And again, just all this... So now Wolverine is basically Reverse Flash because now he's crossed his own timeline several times over.
Yeah.
the most annoying one, and you'll know it when you get there, is Wolverine saves World War II Xavier's father from getting killed by a Japanese kamikaze pilot named Kenji whatever, because that Kenji's the Kenji who will be shamed in that war, go on to create the process of bonding adamantium to the human skeleton.
God damn it.
And also his daughter will be Lady Deathstrike. So he was only shamed because Wolverine went back and shamed him. Like, so Wolverine made himself, is what you're saying now. Wolverine crossed his own timeline to the point where he's basically his own father.
God damn it.
And I fucking hate time travel stories like that so much.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that and they then tie in the character to like another established character. They did it like in the New 52 with Batman and Superman, where like Clark and Bruce were like little kids and they'd met each other as little kids, and were like playing with each other and everything.
And how annoying is that?
Yeah, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
It shrinks your universe.
Yeah.
Is what it does, especially for a character like Wolverine who has such a ridiculous amount of history. Oh, they worked in Null too. I forgot Null was in it too.
Oh, fuck, really? How?
Okay, so this actually isn't a Benjamin Percy thing. This is him actually following up on something Donny Cates did.
Okay.
So Donny Cates had that Web of Venom story with the Sim Commandos there, or the Sim Soldiers. Yeah. Which one of those guys, Rex Strickland, would go on to help Eddie. They fought with Wolverine during Vietnam, and a little bit of Null got on him. And Donny Cates never did anything with that story, so this is Percy, I guess, finishing up on it. The idea is that Omega Red jumps into Dr. Cornelius's body, and it's like, ha ha ha, I'm going to kill you on the operating table before you ever get adamantium in you. Which, if that's the case, why didn't you kill him when he was a child and couldn't defend himself? And the Null symbiote activates in him and protects Wolverine in that moment. So it doesn't want to die, but it doesn't matter because Cornelius kills the Null symbiote anyway, and that only further pushes him to continue his adamantium research.
Oh, God damn it.
So once again, he has crossed his own timeline and made so that things that would have happened anyway were going to only happen, but harder.
This whole story reads like before the story happened, Wolverine's history was like a mess because of time travel, and this is like a story they had to do to like try and like straighten it out and fix it, but the story before it never happened. So it's like a response to something that never happened.
I mean, Wolverine's history has always been a fractal spreadsheet nightmare. He even says in the thing, even I don't know what's real and what's not.
But at least you can kind of like follow it in a way. Yeah. Whereas like this just kind of confuses fucking everything.
I mean, for me, it's always like, Wolverine Origins is here. Weapon X is here.
Yeah.
Old Man Logan is there at the end. Everything else, fucking put it in wherever you want.
Yeah.
Is always my thinking. You got the beginning, you got the end, fill it with whatever you want. But yeah, it's fucking maddening. And yes, Death's is better. Death's is maddening in a different way, and that is that Moira keeps changing her goddamn plan every 10 seconds. Her motivation is all over the place. Like, those mutants have kicked me out of Krakoa, but don't worry, I'll make it on my own. No, I want my powers back. No, I want to destroy Krakoa. No, I want to join forces with the cyborgs now. No, I want revenge on Destiny because she's the one who really screwed me over. Every 10 seconds, her motivation is changing.
Yeah.
Eric helping us out once again. Thank you, Eric. Biggest mixed opportunity in X Lives not having more of Jean's reaction to Logan's past. Jean used to hate Logan when she met him. Jean learns all the trauma that molded him and how he became the man she loves. Excellent point, Eric. Exactly, because Xavier and Jean are like tag-alongs for this adventure. They should be offering commentary and insight, but they never do.
Yeah, they only appear from what I've read up to, which is issue 3. Yeah, Jean's whole thing has been, she learned that there was that Phalanx Logan, and like that's it.
They also run into a problem too, where they're like, well, how do they clean up the timeline after messing around with it? Oh, well, Jean and Xavier, put out tiny psionic pulses to, delete everyone's, short-term memory.
God damn it.
But clearly it's implied that he hung out with Xavier's whaling ancestor for like years, in the time it took them to get from the Arctic to like I think like the Caribbean or wherever the hell they were going. Like, that took years. So even if you deleted his short-term memory, he was still gonna remember it.
Yeah, what they should have done was because Moira's involved, they should have done it where it's like, I mean, they could probably still do it in the last couple of issues of deaths, but what they should have done was should have been like, oh, this all happened, but it was in a timeline that Moira died in. So because she died, it reset the timeline.
Maybe you're right. With one issue left, they could still possibly do that.
Yeah, because like it's a time travel story and everything, and you have this former mutant whose whole power was that if she dies, the timeline restarts.
Well, they set that up in the last issue of Deaths, too, where they're like, look, Moira, you're not actually backed up on Cerebro because we're keeping you secret. So when you die, you will stay dead. And even if you do somehow manage to get back your mutantdom somehow, some way, it still won't matter because when you die, you're going to stay dead this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wonder. I truly do.
Yeah.
Des is weird, too, but I'll let you read that for yourself. Des is better, but maddening in other ways.
It's better, again, because it's not Wolverine or dealing with, like, any of that shit.
Because it's all about Moira, but yeah. All right, what do you want to talk about next?
I had the tie-in, the Flash tie-in for War for Earth 3.
Oh, yes. I picked this up, too, because I'm still holding out hope that maybe I'll get to cover it at some point, but I don't know, man. I don't trust myself. Tell me all about it.
This was definitely a tie-in.
That's a shame.
This was a tie-in that was a tie-in. It wasn't bad or anything. It kind of dealt with a little bit of the stuff that we left off in last issue, and that is that Linda Park now has speed powers.
Oh, shit.
But she's not told anyone yet, as Wally and the family return from Gemworld. Johnny Quick arrives on Earth Zero, because this is set just before the first issue of that War for Earth 3. Johnny Quick arrives on Earth Zero and starts like causing havoc in the Flash Museum.
Right.
And we eventually find out that he's there on Waller's commands to get the Cosmic Treadmill, because she needs the Cosmic Treadmill for something. So Flash tries to stop him, and so does Mirror Master, because Mirror Master's on Rick Flag's Suicide Squad.
That's
so he's,
right, yeah.
He's trying to
the
stop Waller.
Version, yeah.
But Wally doesn't know that, so not only does Wally have to fight Johnny Quick, he has to fight Mirror Master as well, and Mirror Master's trying to stop Flash and Johnny Quick as well, and it's like this kind of like three-way fight where everyone doesn't know what's going really on, and that's kind of the whole issue. There isn't really that much of a tie-in to the actual what's going on Earth 3. It's just kind of like a separate thing. And then they set up something with you. Do you remember the character Blacksmith?
Vaguely, yeah. What was their deal?
Just like a Flash, like an old Flash villain sort of thing. She was in like
she was in the show, wasn't she? She was a one-off villain, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she comes in and she's like working for the Iron Heights warden. Like it's she's in like only like 2 pages, but it's seek to imply like that warden is like setting up his own Suicide Squad, or like some sort of version of it. He demands she help her, and in return she'll get like something off her sentence, or like have a favor or something for him or something.
Is it the same warden who has the power to like mess with your inner ear or something, or make you feel like a bunch of pressure?
I don't think so. I think it's a different one.
Okay, because I know they've had evil wardens in Flash before.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all right. It's just, again, like more setup and stuff that again probably didn't need to be this book.
The fact that they roped in the Flash and they roped in Titans Academy into a story that is so heavily just about the Suicide Squad really made me raise an eyebrow. I'm like, but why though?
Yeah. I don't understand why the Titans are getting involved in this. I guess maybe because I would say maybe because they still think Superboy is part of the Suicide Squad, but it's not.
Which was a thing that annoyed the shit about me, that they never bothered to follow up on that, where it's like, dude, they're clearly keeping your friend, even though he wasn't its match.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll come together, but yeah, this issue was kind of like, well, it didn't need to be a tie-in.
Maybe the story will finally eventually answer the question of like, yo, where actually is Connor Kent Superboy? We know he's around because he was in Suicide Squad for a second to show that he wasn't matched, but what's he been up to recently, and why didn't he want to take part in Titans Academy?
He's been getting ready for that Young Justice Dark Crisis book because he's going to be in that.
And going back to his old black shirt costume too, even though he's been flying around as the Metropolis Kid version of himself.
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing. He's been knitting that shirt this whole time. It's gonna be so
on the
freaking
Kent farm.
good. Yeah. Exactly. Someone has to hang out with Mom and Pa Kent.
Maybe that's what he's been doing, rebuilding the Kent farm.
Oh, I like that a lot.
After Fault Line blew it up.
I like that a lot, actually. It's like, yeah, well, someone had to do it, and I decided to do it by hand. Really challenge myself, not use my super strength.
That'd be kind of cool. Be a callback to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, freaking John's doing his thing over there, Match is doing his thing. They didn't really need my Superboy until Dark Crisis.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. They always got to find things to do where it's like, how can we take Connor out of here? Hey, he's in Gemworld. Hey, he's rebuilding this.
Yeah, he's dead. He's this. He's that.
He's dead. He's in another universe. He's a clone. He never existed.
Yeah.
He's been playing the Elden Ring. He got really into Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring and like streaming.
Yeah, he's just not answering any of his calls. His streaming channel is called Metropolis Kid Plays. Matt's just like, God damn it, why didn't I call my streaming channel that? I coulda. But yeah, that sounds like a tie-in. Sounds like I didn't miss anything.
No, and it kind of makes me think that, this should have just been, because the actual War for Earth 3 is only 2 issues.
Oh,
and I'm
really?
like, yeah, it should have just probably been those 2 issues and none of these tie-ins. You didn't really need any of these tie-ins.
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now, a book we had this week that I know we both really enjoyed, Batman the Knight, the number 3.
Yes.
The continuation of young Bruce Wayne's training adventure in France. This time he gets hooked up with Henry Ducard, who was always shown to be his French mentor, to try and catch a well-connected serial killer.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we've got this story not long after that Tom Taylor book, which had him with Ducard in France.
I know, right? There's something in the water. Everyone wanted to do something with Ducard. I guess it's because Ducard is one of the few, early mentors of Batman that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Because, the other ones, he gets a little hazy after that. Oh, well, he trained with Ra's al Ghul. No, he trained with the Sensei. Well, he trained with Zatara and Zatanna. Well, maybe he didn't, though.
Mm-hmm.
He trained with the original Mr. Miracle, the Golden Age one, to try and learn to escape stuff.
Yep. Ted Grant and all those people, yeah.
Yeah, he learned fist fighting from Ted Grant. I'm actually really interested to see where this series is going to go, because it's like, okay, you've done Ducard, you've done the well-established one, now where are you going to go?
Yeah, I'd like to see him just come back and be learning from, Alfred or something.
I think that's going to be the last issue, actually.
Yeah?
I think that's going to be the last one, and Alfred needs to teach him how to live, or Alfred needs to teach him how to be Bruce Wayne again.
Mm-hmm.
Wear a suit, throw a fancy dinner party.
That'd actually be kind of cool. He's learned all this fighting, and the last issue is him learning to be Bruce, and it's not fighting, it's Alfred teaching him how to tie a Windsor knot, and how to carry himself while in a suit or something.
Yes, here's champagne, but it's really just ginger ale.
Yeah.
What's that from? They'll teach you how to fight, but I'll teach you how to live.
Oh,
that's a quote from something.
I know, it sounds so familiar.
Stall for time while I Google that.
It's it's Adam West's Batman. Jesus.
Because that's from a very similar origin fighty movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna drive me insane.
That is gonna. It's from a movie, I'm pretty sure, one that I've watched a lot.
Yeah. It sounds so familiar.
Yes, I will teach you how to live. But yeah, so it's solid, murder mystery there. We learn a lot about the Foundlings. Surprise, surprise, he is an orphan too, just like Bruce.
Yep.
And, that informs a lot of his psychosis, and it also allows Bruce to get inside his head, because that's basically what Ducard is trying to tell him, because Ducard was actually sent to go after him.
Yes.
By Alfred. The whole trying to solve a serial killer case, that was just more of a side gig.
Yeah, the side quest.
Yeah, the side quest. Yeah, the main quest is the big money that Alfred was paying him.
Yeah, he learnt about it after unlocking the additional dialogue.
Yes. God, that's funny. So yeah, it's that whole thing, he teaches him like that very Frank Miller 300, sometimes choosing where to fight is as important as how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And also, don't be suspicious, because if you're suspicious, I'll get fucking shot in the gut. So your actions have consequences, Bruce. You got to figure that out. I love, too, in the mystery solving, everyone jumps the gun and assumes the foundling is going to try and kill the French prime minister.
Yeah, just it's like, it's usually what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to leave your mark as a serial killer, you got to go all in.
Yeah, you got to kill some big world leader.
Got to kill a big world leader. It's how it's done. They do a good job showing the foundling as like this proto supervillain, because he has like these scalpels that he affixes to his fingers.
Yeah, that really made me think of like Scarecrow.
Yeah, a little Scarecrow. It made me think of like, one-off villains they had on like the Hannibal show.
Yeah, or maybe like someone like Zaz.
Yes, very much so. I have a name. I have a gimmick. I don't have a costume yet.
Yeah, and it would be funny if this is what like kind of begins to like inform the villains of Gotham.
Yeah. Because it only starts in Europe first.
Yeah. They like see this sort of stuff and be like, maybe I need a costume.
Yeah, maybe I need a name and a gimmick to hold the city hostage.
Yeah. That'll get Batman's attention.
Because that's what I really want more than anything is attention.
Yeah.
Also, too, despite how far Bruce has come as an infiltrator and as a detective, he's still very violent and very angry, and they bring that back when he almost kills this foundling guy.
Yeah, again, it's kind of interesting. You got the Batman, all doing kind of like the same sort of thing with the whole how he's like very violent.
Yeah. I haven't learned to be selfless yet. I haven't learned to be a hero. I'm still learning to just be the knight.
Yeah.
And his trainer there, Lucy, even tells him that. It's like, oh, I hope you find what you are looking for, my little knight. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. She's the one that coins that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Yeah, there's just not a lot to say about it. It's really good, Batman the Knight. It's an origin story so good it makes me actually give a shit.
It has me really excited for Zdarsky's run on the book. I'd love if he came into his ongoing and be like, yeah, so that Knight series is like canon.
That's totally canon to my run. That's the new origin now.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
It could fit in right fine because it doesn't contradict anything else so far.
And I mean, we're coming into that run like during like a crisis event. You could just be like, yeah, it's canon now.
This is the new Batman year 1 now. Yep.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, it even predates year 1. It's like, yeah, this is his training. This is everything he did between the margins of even the bigger training stuff than you know about.
Yeah, you can have this and year 1 still be all canon together.
Yeah, you absolutely could. Like, again, he doesn't put on a costume this whole thing. He's just Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all about it. I really like Batman the Knight. It's an early contender for, I think, one of my favorite books of the year.
It's so good, yeah.
It's so damn good. I had one more new book, Matt. What about you?
Yeah, I had 2.
Okay, I had Detective Comics because I know that's the one you and I probably both read.
Yeah.
We're continuing the Arkham Tower storyline. Batman is here, and while I'm still enjoying it, I cannot help but feel that Batman's appearance and getting involved kind of made this story jump the shark a little bit.
It did, yeah. He's here to solve all the problems.
Basically.
And everything. I did like that Mariko did just continue to focus on the Bat family, but again, Batman's there, he's facing the real villain, he's taken over basically. He
steals all the focus is what it is.
Yeah, hopefully that's something that comes out in the last issue with it's like, you didn't need to come here, Batman, we had it under control. Yeah.
Well, I truly think Huntress is going to be the one to save the day, because Huntress is the one that Tamaki really took an interest in. She's the one who willingly locked herself up in Arkham Tower. She's dealing with this whole future sight thing. I think she's going to be the one to calm down Nakano's wife and actually end up saving the day.
Yeah. She's one of the few people who actually got help in the tower, basically. Yeah.
and she's, paying that forward basically and trying to help other people.
Yeah, we had Psycho Pirate also turned coat and kind of become a little bit of a hero.
Yeah, he had a face turn.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, exactly. It was all about his face. Can we talk about that for a second? So Scarecrow, after throwing Nightwing out the window, it's like, that's a stupid idea. Maybe I should steal Psycho Pirate's mask and use it to make the city feel fear. Yes, I'm going to put this mask on top of my other mask.
On top of my big gas mask, yeah.
That's the dumbest shit ever. I'm going to put a mask on top of my other mask.
I called that out in my video of it. I'm like, you just put it on over his... That's not going to be comfortable.
No, and you know what? To the credit of the writer and artist, I'm sure Tamaki and the artist went back and forth on that. Where it's like, well, are you really going to waste a whole page or a whole panel for him to unmask only to remask in the next page? It's going to totally kill the flow. And as a writer, I'd be like, all right, fine.
Yeah, and what happens is what we said was going to happen, and that is Koiki Nakano ends up with the Psycho Pirate mask.
Yep, and we don't know if she's friend or foe, who she's going to take her rage out on.
Yeah.
Can I say that I was actually way more invested in the Penguin story this issue, where it's like, is he going to get the drugs and, settle his street debt?
Yeah, I'm glad he came back into the story.
Yeah, with Avengers. I'm like, you were here when the series was going in interesting directions.
Yeah, and then just kind of left out once the shit hit the fan, and now you're coming back to kind of like mop up everything.
Yeah. His plan makes sense. It's like, everyone is so distracted with the inmates taking over Arkham Tower. I'm going to break in and steal all the drugs to cover my losses from that deal with Ware.
Yeah, and I'd love for him to succeed. Everyone's too focused on, like, Scarecrow getting another fear state going where, like, Penguin can just swoop in and take all these drugs and make a shitload of money in the process.
Yeah, no one's paying attention to me. Also, Lady Clayface came back to help Harley, and I'm like, Lady Clayface, who was also, like, a deal in this comic when it started and then dropped off.
Her inclusion was so weird, because she just, like, appeared out of nowhere and then just left in the same page.
Yeah.
But again, I was fully expecting her to be like, it's going to be revealed that she was, like, this nurse this whole time, or like...
something, yeah.
Someone, yeah, but, where the hell did she even come from?
That annoys me too, because it's like, so you mean to tell me that Scarecrow and Lady Clayface have just been in here in secret this whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know Ware wasn't running a tight ship or anything, but still.
Yeah.
At least with Scarecrow, it makes sense, because at the end of the Tynion Batman book, he brought, Scarecrow to Dr. Meridian and says, hey, maybe you can handle it.
Yeah.
At least, but then that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Jason Landro's helping us out here. So any guess as to whom the third and fourth Superboy is circling Superman statue for the Dark Crisis image? Oh, I didn't see that, actually. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like they've got like the statues of the Trinity.
Right.
And there's like they're like putting the statues up, and there's like a bunch of Supermen doing it, and there's like an extra one. So but again, it could also just be like an art problem, just because people have noticed as well in, I think it was the Young Justice tie-in, but there's like a character there who's colored like Batwoman, but it's very clearly Batgirl. Barbara Gordon is very clear, and it looks like it's just been like a hastily recolored character, so it could just be something like that.
Right, here I'm trying to find the actual picture so I can weigh in on it. Because, yeah, you're right. I mean, John, Connor, those are the ones.
Yeah. Maybe Match?
No, yeah, maybe Match. Because Match is a good guy now, basically.
It could also be, maybe not like a Superboy. Maybe it could be President Superman?
Oh, yeah, Calvin. Okay, you know what, Matt? I think you nailed it, because obviously he was a big deal in Justice League Incarnate, and Josh Williamson was writing him, so it only makes sense that he would be there too.
He could possibly be there, yeah.
I think you got it, Matt. I think you nailed it in one.
Could be that, could be an art mistake. I guess we'll find out very soon. I
guess we will, yeah. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think those are the four. You got it.
Yeah.
So there, someone saying New 52 Superboy. Yes, they dug up his corpse.
Oh,
the weird clone one.
Remember him? Yeah, that no one liked.
Vaguely remember him. But yeah, so that was Detective Comics. It was fine, but I cannot help but feel that it would be so much better without Batman.
Yeah, he's just ruining it all.
One of the only times where I'm like, you know what, this Batman story is really harmed by the presence of Batman.
Yeah. Well, the story is called Shadow of the Bat.
Shadows of the Bat,
Yeah.
plural.
Yeah.
Now that he's here, you can't cast a shadow no more.
No.
You're just in the room. You've ruined the shadow. I would really like to know, if I ever get to talk to Mariko Tamaki, was the plan always to have Batman show up, or was that an editorial note?
It kind of feels like we know Batman did come back at the end of that Williamson thing, but but still, you could have had it like him come back the day after Arkham Tower, or like even come back and be like, no, I don't need to help out here, my team's got it.
It also, again, it could have been anyone else. Like, hell, if it was Jace Fox Batman, that would actually have been fun and interesting.
That would have been cool. Well, I mean, it could have been him, but I mean, he's in New York at the moment. Yeah. So it could have been anyone. Jason could have been Tim.
It could have been, it could have been Batwing. It could have been Red Hood, for Christ's sake. It could have been any other Bat family affiliate who have seen Duke. I'd love it if Duke showed up.
Fucking Ghostmaker.
Yeah, anyone but Batman.
Yeah.
Because, like, is not the whole point of this story supposed to be that the Bat family can work just fine without Batman?
Exactly.
By having him show up, it kind of undercuts the message of this story,
It undercuts the message he learnt in Williamson's story, which is, like, trust the team.
Absolutely.
And like, let them do their jobs.
Like, hell, even Scarecrow revealing himself, be like, I'm the true villain behind this. What's your plan? The same plan I always have. The one that just failed. Like, hell, at least with Ware. Remember how much in love we were with Ware? It's like, oh, yeah, he's just a shitty con man who wants money and doesn't care who he hurts.
It was great.
That was beautiful. That was amazing.
Yeah, and then they had to do the big villain. They had to do him.
They had to get a big... Again, if it was anyone else, like, shit, what if Mr. Freeze took over? It's like, actually, I'm running this now.
That'd be interesting. You haven't done anything for a while.
Yeah.
Where's your wife?
Yeah, you'd give him credit for it, where it's like, yeah, that should be his thing. Yeah, I'm mad because my wife is dead.
Yeah.
I'm mad because my wife is dead. I'm going to take it out on the city. In fact, I'm going to take it out on your wife, Mayor Nakano, actually.
Yeah, even if it just continued to be like those like no-name villains like Volsyn and Siphon. Like, Siphon died off page, apparently.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I know. That blew my mind. Oh, we actually got Volsyn's origin in this, and I'm like, oh, so she really is just female Mr. Zsasz.
Yeah, just a shitty serial killer.
Like I joked before where it's like, oh, she's a killer who cuts people and herself. I'm like, oh, that's a little like Zsasz. Her name is even her supervillain name. And then we get it. I'm like, oh, she really is just Zsasz, huh? Aw. Like, I wasn't expecting anything huge with that. That's fine. There's got to be just regular serial killers in Gotham. She just has a scissor thing.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I think the next issue is the penultimate issue, and then we got one more.
Yeah, this week's issue is the final issue of Shadows of the Bat, yeah.
Right. Which, was a fun ride. I'll be interested to see what Tamaki does after this.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening after this, do we?
No, I guess we don't. Yeah, I can't remember anything from solicitations.
No, I think it just goes back to, like, normal, whatever Detective Comics was before. Which means Batman.
Yeah, which, this feels like it's, like, going to be a hard thing to top, even if I felt like it kind of lost steam at the end, because it's like this kind of felt like Tamaki's, like, her big masterpiece, almost.
Yeah, well, again, as, like what we said, like, it felt like if she's finally been able to do a story that's, like, all her, it's not subservient to, like, it doesn't have to be a tie-in to, like, Fear State or anything like that. They're all her own story.
And then by the end, it was subservient to the main Batman book and to Fear State. Fuck. God damn. All right, what was your last book, Matt?
My last book was Eternals issue 10.
Oh, yes. Is this The Heretic, or is this just issue 10?
This is just issue 10. The Heretic is like a special.
Right, okay. Yeah, they're showing a lot of love for the Eternals right now, ain't they?
Well, Judgment Day is coming.
Yes, Judgment Day is always coming. I felt for the last 2 years. Oh, you mean the comic event Judgment Day is coming? Okay, see, I thought you were talking about something completely different, but please go on.
Yeah, so it's the Eternals infiltrating Avengers Tower. They do it a couple of different ways. They send Cersei in as just like a a friend, basically. She gets and she has immediate sexual tension with Namor.
I mean, who doesn't have immediate sexual tension with Namor?
And while she's like wooing them over there, the other Eternals, Ajak, Makari, Kingo, and Sprite all sneak into the Avengers Tower to look for the ritual site that they need to access to gain the knowledge that the dead Celestial had about the deviants and like their secrets. And they
might be mutants.
maybe how they might be mutants, might not be mutants. You never know. Don't know yet. Yeah. Judgment Day is coming.
Judgment Day is coming.
While they're all doing that, Thanos is still trying to become one with the machine so he can be reborn without the fail-safes that Phastos put into him when he was rebirthed, which means he can be killed and not come back. So he's trying to figure out how to become one with the machine, and that requires him to talk with his parents, who, as we know, thanks to some of the tie-ins, they are actually in the strange eldritch abomination cells that the Eternals put people in when they've done great wrong to the Eternals. He ends up freeing them, and he immediately kills them out of like anger, but they'll be reborn because they're Eternals. So he does this a bunch of times, and Droog's with him, and Droog says he's done it like 6 or 7 times, where he's just like rebirthed them and just like killed them immediately because of everything they've been doing. And Droog thinks that maybe they need a little bit of leverage, and so Thanos decides to show them a little town called Little Hollow, and with the press of a button, he'll make the Earth conjure up like a plasma vent or something under the town and kill thousands of people. And
sounds about right.
And he's gonna do it unless they tell him how to become one with the machine and how to integrate into the machine. But his parents just don't give a fuck, and they're like, our hatred for you outweighs all of these people. We don't give a fuck about them. We fucking hate you.
I do love that is still canon, just the hatred that his parents have for him.
Yeah, so he ends up blowing up the city, and because of it, Icarus and Thena, who are on like Avengers Mountain watch for in case anything goes wrong with the teams inside, they have to leave to go and save the people, because obviously they know that people now, if an Eternal dies, people like a person on Earth will die, and their energy becomes the energy that resurrects the Eternals.
That's an interesting wrinkle in things.
Yeah, Icarus has had a really interesting character arc over the last couple of issues because he doesn't want to be reborn because of the cost now.
Right.
So he's had to relearn how to fight with care. Because he's never had to learn how to dodge or like defend himself because he's an Eternal. But now that he knows that secret, he wants to learn how to like dodge and take care of himself in battle. And the issue ends up with the Avengers being alerted to what's going on in the mountain, and Thanos kind of beginning to learn what he needs to become a proper Eternal.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Sounds like I should catch up on this series before Judgment Day. Sounds like there's a lot going on.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it is Gillen, and Gillen's going to be writing the main event, which sounds like, you should definitely read it.
Yeah, it's a load of fun. It's really interesting what they're doing with the Eternals with this whole, they know the truth about. It's kind of interesting to see this compared to with like the mutants with their resurrection protocols and how they don't want anyone to know, and the Eternals don't want anyone to know about their resurrection protocols as well.
Yeah, they're horning in on our immortality racket. Can't have that.
Yeah.
Stop horning in on our racket. One racket per supergroup.
I'm wondering if that's actually going to like be part of it. This whole Judgment Day, this whole because they both resurrect each other, except one side of the resurrection is like killing people.
Yeah.
Maybe the resurrection is like, we'll change the resurrection so it only kills mutants.
That'd be a hell of a thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
That would be a hell of a thing. I'm all about it. And the Avengers are like, please don't. Can't we all just...
Well, the Avengers are already kind of suspicious because they're the machine, which is the Earth, has been having problems, and like with the climate and everything, and the like Tony's voicing is like, yeah, the Eternals are our friends, but they're not telling us everything they know about this machine, and they're saying it was just a glitch in the system, but it's definitely more than that, so we need to know more than this. And yeah,
it's kind of a dick move. It's like, we live here, guys, we live on this planet.
You're technically killing us when you reborn.
Yeah, when you respawn.
Yeah,
hacks, we call hacks. Please nerf Eternals in the next update. And that's what Judgment Day is about, judging.
It's the patch, the big 1.0 patch.
It's like when they blow up Fortnite every chapter.
Yeah, it's a new map.
New map coming in. I guess with that, we can talk about what's coming out this week, or today as people listen to this, if you're listening to it on Wednesday when it drops.
Yeah.
We got the finale of Detective Comics. We got Action Comics, 1041.
Ooh, lovely.
You and I both really enjoying that story.
Yeah.
We got Robin number 12. This is not the start of Shadow War, but we're getting there.
I've got to. I'm waiting to see when Shadow War begins, because it begins with that Alpha issue.
Yes.
But I'm gonna catch up on the 6 or so issues of Deathstroke beforehand, as well as because Deathstroke apparently is something big to do in Dark Crisis, apparently.
I know, right? Yeah, we gotta freaking get into that now. Thanks, Williamson. You got Star Wars Darth Vader Crimson Reign.
Nice.
We got the finale X-Deaths of Wolverine.
Oh, yay.
Human Target is the 6th issue, the last issue, or is this a 12 issue?
I have no idea.
I know, I'm not reading Human Target either. That being said, people who are reading Human Target are really enjoying it.
Yeah.
You got Iron Man 18.
Nice.
You got Titans Academy 13, which is the tie-in to what is it, War for World 3.
Yeah.
Here's hoping it's better than the one you just read.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? Venom Lethal Protector number 1. Oh yeah, I guess we're getting a new Venom book, aren't we?
Oh really? How many of them are we gonna have? Jesus.
I know. Which, this Lethal Protector book seems to be more of a throwback, like what they're doing with, Ben Reilly, Spider-Man, and everything.
Oh, so like one sentence. Is it written by Peter David as well?
No, it's written by David Michelinie, but again, basically same deal. Hey, we got one of the old writers back.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll tie them together. That'd be kind of cool. They have like an event set in the past between Ben Reilly and Venom. That'd be pretty cool.
That. Yeah, we got the fucking co-creator back, guys. Ain't that special? Just a lot of Venom stuff going on. We got Deathstroke Inc. number 7, Avengers Forever number 4, Shang-Chi 10. Wolverine Patch. We're getting a whole Patch book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a whole little Patch miniseries.
Jesus.
Captain America Iron Man 5.
Nice. That's got to be coming to an end soon. I've got like a big video doing the United States one, and this time, just because that new Captain America book starts very soon.
Yeah. Ms.Marvel Beyond number 4, which I have not actually read yet, but I should probably start now. With the TV show and everything.
Is that a digital only?
It might be, actually.
Yeah, because it's not one of those Infinity books. I know that. No.
Yeah. Aquaman Green Arrow Deep Target number 6, so that's coming to an end, which means I guess I can finally start it.
Nice, yeah.
Icon and Rocket season 1/6, so that's coming to an end. Now, a lot of these milestone books are actually reaching their conclusion.
Yeah, and don't they have like a big milestone book coming out?
I think they talked about launching Blood Syndicate.
Yeah, no, there was like another one, kind of like I only briefly like saw a picture of it, but it reminded me of like the other history of the DC universe.
Oh yeah. I think that
it was some big milestone. It might have been just a collection.
I think it was a collection. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know the one you mean. IDW has given us Godzilla vs. the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 1 this week.
I might have to pick that up.
I know, right? That's like, ooh, I don't have room for it, but also, yeah, all right. Put it on my pile. I'll just look at it. It just looks really good. And it's basically all the big books that come out that week.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, not a huge week, but a balanced week by the looks of it.
Pretty decent, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can actually catch up on some shit this week finally.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Again, I'd love to go back and read those new Milestone books and make big videos on them now that they're all done and now that I can read the whole thing.
Well, now that Icon and Rocket are finishing up, maybe I'll do that. I'll do a static one. And what was it? There was a static, there was hardware, and Icon and Rocket. Was there only 3 of them?
Yeah, there was only 3.
Okay.
Which that's good. Yeah, I think they're talking about coming back for second seasons of those and that they want to launch Blood Syndicate. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how the static book ends, with them setting up Blood Syndicate.
Nice.
Which, hey, speaking of static, everyone, god damn, I never get segues this good. Because it's the end of the month next week when we come back and do the show again, we will be doing another episode of Retro Hero Video, which is our animated superhero book club, basically, where we look at a classic episode of, one of those great DCAU shows or Marvel shows or what have you, and we're completing our arc on very special episodes by looking at the Static Shock episode, Jimmy, which is, of course, the school shooting episode.
Yes.
Yes, they did a goddamn school shooting episode. Which, man, when we start talking about that, I'm going to have to call it a schmool mooting, at the beginning, because if I say it too early on in the YouTube video, they might demonetize us. One of them good old mule mutings.
Just say it. You can say it, but then add at the end, in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. That's what you got to do. In Minecraft. But yes, that'll be... Well, to say it's a lot of fun feels wrong. It will be very interesting, I am sure.
I'm sure it will be, yes.
Man, Joel was so happy to talk about school shootings. He was just so fucking hyped for it. Did you see that big Christmas morning smile on his face? Just walking around with a song in his heart because he gets to talk about it. But no, it'll be very good. Get ready for that. That's always fun. I love doing that show because it's fairly easy to edit and then I can get it up for patrons right away.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, if you're a patron, you'll, of course, get to listen to this episode first before anyone else in audio and video form. Matt and I try and get that one to you right quick. Everyone else, you'll get it Wednesday morning at 8. And for the audio fans, I try and drop it around Saturday sometime if you want to take the show on the go with you.
Cool.
So thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening. It's always very appreciated. We know you have a lot of options on how to spend your Sunday night. We're glad you spent it with us.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Fresh News says, just call it another Tuesday in America. Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, that'll get around it just fine. Like I said, it'll be one of our more serious episodes because it is interesting to be like, this is what they thought culturally about school shootings back in the early 2000s, and this is what we know now when they are sadly way more common.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you everyone for coming out and hanging out, and we'll be back again next week, same time, same place, for more comic multiverse action. Bye-bye.
See ya.